Hi everyone, if you don't already know me, I'm Victoria, aka Tori Elaine, and in this video I'm going to show you how I achieved my whole entire face look, my foundation, my bronzer, my highlighter, all the good stuff. So if you want to know how I did it, then keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so as you guys can see, I already have some eye makeup done, which will be in another video that you guys will get to see. I have already primed my face with the Badescu Rose Water. I'm like obsessed with this stuff. I haven't been using like any actual like primers because I've used a couple and they have been breaking my skin out in a rash. So I gotta figure out what the heck the ingredient is that's doing that. So I'm gonna take my Sephora 10-hour wear foundation. This is my holy grail. I love it so much. Like it sits so well. Like it really does last on a night out for sure. I think I need a little bit different of a color. Like this one's kind of yellow tinted. So I'm just going to take my finger and kind of just dot it all over my face. Make sure I get it everywhere. I am going to take my blending sponge from Real Techniques. This is my holy grail sponge as well. A lot of these products I'm using in this video are honestly products that I use like 24/7. I have tried using a brush, but I don't know, every time I use one, like it just always leaves streaks all over my face and I always have to go over it with a sponge. So I'm like, I might as well just take the time to use a sponge. Like what's the point of trying to cut the time in half when really you're not? So I don't know, but if you guys have any suggestions for brushes that you like love for foundation, go ahead and leave them in the comments below and I'll definitely try them out because I'm always willing to try something, but you know, not everything always works out. Or I mean, really, if you guys have any suggestions for any makeup, go ahead and let me know because I love to try new things. I literally have in my phone, in the notes of my phone, like a makeup wish list. I can't talk, which is just products that I would like to try. And every time I buy something new, I always just mark it off my little list. So, and for any of you that's always like, oh my gosh, like I want this and this and this, and I can't afford to get it all at once, like just do that. Just make yourself a little wish list, and whenever you have a little bit of extra money, you know, and you're buying Ulta or Sephora or whatever, or even Walmart, Walgreens, like wherever, get those things for yourself. Because that's what I started doing, and that's honestly kind of how I've just started like building up my makeup collection. So I'm going to take just a couple more dots because I have like a little bit of leftover in my hand, and just kind of do a little bit of a second layer on those rosy cheeks. And what's funny about this is I'm going to put on blush later because I like blush, but I don't like when my real redness peeks through. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Cream Contour Stick. It is an 805 Call Me Maple. Just a little stick. See, it has foundation on it for sure. On my forehead, I just go ahead and drag it across. And I bring it all the way down because I don't like that, like, you know, all like bronzy and contoured and then there's just a gap of like white and then contoured. I don't know, a lot of people like that, they're fine with that, but this is just my personal preference. And then for my cheeks, since again, these are my freaking problem areas because I never want to work out, I'm going to take it from the top of my ear and I'm just going to tap it. Like instead of dragging it, I'm just going to tap it just to make sure my foundation stays in place. So top of my ear, just tap, tap, tap. And you can go down as far as you want. I think that's like pretty good. And then again, I'm going to take just a little bit on the sides of my nose and on the tip of it right there. Just kind of like underneath where you put your highlighter. Okay. Put just a little line right there on my temples. And I am going to take same sponge. I just take the opposite side of it. But I mean, do you guys see how easily this blends? Like, it's taken me no time. Like, I like it. This, and there's an e.l.f. one, and I actually have it right here. And it's literally like the e.l.f. cream contour palette. It's so beat up. So obviously I really like this one too. Like, it works really well. And the shades in it are just beautiful. So if you want some options for a very, very, very affordable cream contour, there you go. Those are pretty affordable and pretty freaking great. There's a tornado siren going off right now, so I should probably see what that's about, because it is a tornado siren. So okay, I am back. There was tornado sirens off, so I had to go downstairs and kind of check and see what the heck was going on. So I already like went ahead and just blended the rest of my cream contour in, and we are going to do concealer next. And I bet if you watch YouTube makeup tutorials, you'll never guess what concealer I'm gonna use. Tarte Shape Tape. Everybody raves about it, and I was like, well, I got it for my mom first, and then she's like, yeah, I really like it. So I was like, okay, so now I really have to try it, and I'm in love just like everybody else is. The only other concealer that's like probably one of my favorites is a Maybelline Fit Me. That one is honestly really good. Like, it's a little bit more medium coverage, but it's a lot more like light. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take this underneath the eyes. I'll bring it down just a little bit since my cheeks want to be freaking red today. Take just a little bit down the nose. That nice little thing everybody does. You don't really have to do that. You can just put a little square. I don't care. Whatever's gonna brighten up the middle of your face works. Alright, put a little bit underneath this eye. I'll bring this one down a little bit too. Put just a little bit on my cupid's bow and on this stupid little pimple that wants to be there. Underneath my nose. You don't really have to do that, but that's just me. And then, of course, my chin, because my chin wants to stay red every day of its life. Now that we're all done with that, I'm going to take wild guess, take the same sponge, because apparently I never use brushes to blend out any of my cream products. I don't know. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because I'll definitely try it. So I'm just going to take the same sponge and blend all this out. Alright, we got that blended out pretty well. So, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I'm pretty dang dry skinned, like 90% of the time. So powders do not really work out very well on me, but for some reason this powder it does. Like, it works really well. And I don't really bake just because, again, I have pretty dry skin, so baking just, yeah, that doesn't happen for me, so. And if it does, I look like I just, like, dipped my head in, like, I don't know, like a sandbox. Like, I don't know, something that would make your skin look crazy. I am kind of, like, packing it on there, but I don't know, it's not really baking. And I just kind of dust it everywhere, like, lightly. Looking nice and go sleep. Okay. The only other powder that is, like, I'm in love with is this It Cosmetics by Pores, but I don't use it all over my face. I'm just going to take a tiny bit. I'm going to use the same brush, and I didn't tell you what this is, I'm sorry. It's the Ulta Beauty Blush Brush, but I use it for powder, so, hey. I'm going to tap that in just a little bit. Not very much, just a little bit. And just right here where I have like really, really big pores, I'm going to kind of just push the product in there. And this is literally the only place I put it. You can put it all over, but I just feel like I like to use it for the area that I really, really need it. I'm going to take my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, Kathleen Lights used to rave about this all the time. I think she still does talk about it, honestly. And I freaking love her. And she has really dry skin, so like anything she says, I'm like, okay, cool, I gotta try that. So I tried this and I love it. It is at the drugstore. It's a little pricier, but I've been using the same one for like, I don't even know how long, like forever, because you don't need that much. Like you kind of just dip your brush in there. And this is the e.l.f. Total Foundation brush. I don't know what kind of foundation you're going to put on with a brush this fluffy. Maybe they meant powder foundation. I don't know. But anyways, I use it for bronzer. And I'm going to kind of just tap that into my skin. And again, same thing. You want to kind of try to get it in your hairline. I know you can't always like get it right up there, but you can just try. Get real bronze up here. And again, I bring it all the way down. That's a personal preference. That's what I like to do. What I think looks good. But everybody has different preferences when it comes to makeup. I don't necessarily think that anything anybody does is wrong. Like everybody has their own techniques and own things that they do. So I think I've been sucking at telling you guys the shades of the things I'm using, but I will definitely put those down below in the description box so you can see like what shade my foundation and everything was. This is like a super mini size. It's another thing I got in Ipsy, but I really like the color. I have a full palette that has a color similar to this, but it's a little bit darker, and I just don't want to go super dark. Like I think this is a pretty good like ashy toned color. So I'm going to take this this brush. I don't know what it's called. I apologize. They're like nowhere to be seen. I don't want to tap it too much because I always do that with contour and then it's like streak of dirt. I can't blend it out for the life of me. So that wasn't too bad. And again, that was kind of just from like the tip of my ear. I'm just kind of bringing it down. I don't know what's up with my lighting, like it just got super bright all of a sudden. So, sorry about that. There we go, we got the lighting fixed. I mean, I like it super bright, don't get me wrong, but geez, you guys couldn't see anything I was doing with it like that. I'm gonna take that Maybelline Fit Me powder again and kind of just bring it underneath here. This is the only spot that I would say I could bake if I wanted to, but I really don't have to. Like, I kind of just bring it underneath there just to make sure that's, like, cut. I'm going to take this Tarte Cosmetics Amazonian Clay Blush in Feisty. It's got kind of, like, that bronzy tint to it, but it's also, like, red enough or, like, rosy enough to give your cheeks, like, a little bit of a flush. And I know I'm just complaining about my cheeks being red, but let me live, okay? Let me live. So I'm going to take this Luxie 660 Precision Foundation brush. I don't use brushes for what they're for, obviously, but who does? And I'm going to just smile. Kind of get it on the apples of my cheeks. So again, I'm going to take this brush and just kind of blend everything in together. Just make sure my cheeks aren't too rosy. And I'm all done with powder products except for my highlighter, but I don't like to do highlighter and then setting spray because I feel like it tones it down, and I like my highlighter popping, okay? Popping. So I'm going to do the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray and go ahead and spray my face down. I think all we have left for my face tutorial is highlighter. This is the best part ever. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. It's like a liquid highlighter, and I know everybody's like, but you already put powder on. Like, how are you going to do that? It blends fine, and I don't put that much anyway, so I put it on top of powder like every single day of my life, and it never does anything. Just has a little applicator. It comes out with like a whole bunch, but I'm going to wipe that off. And I'm just going to tap it on the tips of my cheek. Ooh, girl, that was kind of a lot. on my nose, on my cupid's bow, and I do like to put it up here. Like, I like to glow anywhere that I can glow. Which sadly is not my whole face, because then I'll probably look like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz or something, so we don't want that. And you can take your beauty blender or a sponge or whatever, but I honestly just use my finger and just kind of blend this out. And this is pretty, like, it's popping enough, but it's pretty settled. So I am going to add a powder highlighter on top of this. I just like the way these two that I'm going to use look together. So now, I am going to use Colourpop Luster Dust in the shade Strobe Glow. Do you see this thing? This is $7, and wait till you see how it performs. Just wait. You'll be like, high-end highlighters, where? This is literally amazing. And I'm going to go ahead and just take some from the lid, because you don't need very much all. Go ahead, fill it up, tap it off, and let's apply this. I know you see that already. I mean, it's literally so pretty. And I kind of like to do the C thing, like I bring it on top, and then I kind of just, you know, let it live. And do the same thing on the other side. I mean, this highlighter is freaking beautiful. And it is popping. Like, if you want a poppin' highlighter that's cheap, here you go. I'm going to take a little bit on my nose. And a little bit on my cupid's bow here. I mean, girls. Going to take this. This is a Luxie 249, and I'm going to use this little flash side right here and take a little bit of that highlighter to highlight my brow bone and my inner corners. So I'm going to go finish up my eyes and my lips, and I will be back with the finished product. Okay guys, so this is the finished look with all of my face makeup, and I went ahead and finished my eyeshadow and threw on some red lipstick, which I am obsessed with. If you guys want to know how I created this eye look, go ahead and watch that video. It should be up before this one, so yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's a great look. The highlighter is still popping, so if you are watching, thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video.